flight attendant is trained to handle anything, from the routine
Check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened
to the terrifying. And when that happens, training saves lives.
They call it boot camp, and we are, merciless.
I'm gonna feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
Before any flight attendant takes off, she must be prepared for the possibilities no one likes to think about. Because keeping passengers comfortable is easy. Keeping them safe, that's the hard part. The preparation begins at flight attendant school. In this episode of Flight Attendant School.
Suzette seemed to be struggling a little bit.
I thought I was doing okay.
Feedback is the most important communication skill.
We found an anonymous letter, and management has lost the respect it started with.
It makes me feel sick to my stomach.
You know why you do this? You guys take this so personally because you give everything.
we have to talk tonight.
As the 5th week of flight attendant school gets underway, the pressure on trainees intensifies. In the cabin trainer, the day in the life exercise puts Suzette, Rhonda, and Marvin through a mock flight. As the designated A flight attendant, Suzette is expected to take the lead role in today's events.
Flight attendants are
3 now.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Okay, are we ready?
I watched Suzette, and she wasn't as sure of herself as a lot of other people were in the day in the life. I don't know if she was just nervous or if she really didn't know, and that's, I guess it raised a little bit of concern.
Our aircraft is equipped with 6 emergency exits, 2 overwing exits. In the event of a water evacuation, all exits are equipped with an evacuation slide that inflates.
Suzette's doing her day in the life. You could tell it didn't go smoothly and that she was struggling a little bit.
Due to the short duration of our flight, there will be no snack service. Don't ask.
She was a little abrasive to the passengers.
Did you have any food on this flight? Actually, there's no snacks today.
It seemed like Suzette was hiding behind the bulkhead a little bit, not really out there serving people.
Beverages, so I'll be...
Well, they told me they would do it because it's a short service. Do you want me to do it anyway?
She didn't want to do a beverage service. I had to ask her to do that.
Margot asked Michelle to play the role of like a creepy, suspicious passenger. She had a camera, taking pictures, asking a lot of strange questions. She had a notepad, taking notes, just very suspicious.
Just to give you a heads up, there is a passenger on board taking a lot of pictures. I don't know if this should be concerned or not.
Can you talk to her and ask her why she's taking pictures and call me back?
Marco is hoping that Suzette will take the lead and respond to what could be a potential security threat. But because Suzette is neglecting her duties, Rhonda is forced to step in and confront Michelle.
To respect the privacy of the other passengers, I'm gonna have to ask you not to take any more pictures.
Before, I wasn't really nervous. It was just like trying to get everything down. I'd like to know what's going on ahead of time so I can plan ahead of time, and, kind of being thrown into it is sort of stressful.
I noticed when we were getting ready to leave that the fueler hooked up to the side of the airplane.
Yes.
How much fuel does this plane hold?
You know what? I'm gonna answer all those questions for you at the end of the flight. It sounds like you have really good questions. Really good stuff.
Hi, Rhonda. Did you get a chance to talk to that passenger?
Oh, yes, I did.
What are some questions she's asking?
She was asking about fuel.
Yeah, I'm just kind of concerned about this passenger. We normally don't get people asking us about fuel and taking photographs of the aircraft.
Rhonda steps in where it seemed like Suzette might not have been sure of what to do in the situation, but Rhonda did the job.
Strap in. I'm going to speed up this descent a little bit so we can be on the ground. We'll be on the ground in about 3 minutes, so I need you guys to sit down now.
Okay.
And we are going to alert the FBI. Turbulence. Bad turbulence. And we're taxiing. We just...
Follow signs for baggage claim to carousel 1.
Doors verified.
Are your doors verified? Door verified. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Should we ask the captain if we can...
Oh, yeah.
The captain said doors verified. Suzette seemed to be struggling a little bit, and Rhonda was giving her a lot of help over when to make announcements, what to do next. And she disarmed her door fine, but we got to really pull your hand away fast.
Before you can answer my questions now.
Oh, yes. Actually, I have somebody here to answer all the questions you have.
I can help you. I'm going to answer
answer all your questions.
See, here we go. Special helper.
Frustrated by her poor performance, Suzette makes an inappropriate comment in front of the passengers and instructors.
I hope you have a better flight attendant A next time. Bye-bye.
I think Suzette was aware that she didn't perform as well as she should have or could have.
Suzette's negative attitude has been an issue before.
Some of your group members were very, very hurt and upset.
We just can't get along, and if you have a problem, take it to the group.
In the first week of training, Suzette chose to move out after failing to get along with her housemates.
I think we are better off as a group without her.
Get me out of here.
The next morning before class, Marco and Melissa share their concerns about Suzette's day-in-the-life performance with Frank.
Her attitude is just very distant, not really role-playing, not getting into the idea of the day in the life, and her competency was way off.
That's what I was going to ask you. Do you think Suzette's lacking confidence, or is it lacking knowledge, or both?
I think it's both. Okay. And I think her attitude is just reflecting, and maybe it's one of those things where you're not confident, you don't know the stuff, so maybe you just come across as, oh, shoot, I'm going to be awful, and this is just how I'm going to do it. And, I mean, because I know she wants this job bad.
And when
no, thank you, no, please. When they were deplaning, she was telling people, oh, I'm sorry, hopefully you have a better A flight attendant next time. Hope you have a better A flight attendant next time.
And what's really scary, though, I could see Suzette doing that out online. Would you like Suzette?
Yeah, if we can get her in now. Okay. Marco and Melissa just came to me with some concerns on Suzette, so we're gonna have a little talk about this. Let her know what our perceptions are, and get her take on that, and let her know what our expectations are.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
I thought I was doing okay.
Feedback is important.
We found an anonymous letter, and management has lost the respect it started with.
After her poor performance during her day-in-the-life training exercise, Instructor Frank calls Suzette into his office to discuss her negative attitude.
Suzette, a couple things that wanted to go over. I'm mentioning this to you just to make you aware of what the perception is with the day in the life yesterday. First concern is that Suzette's head is really not in the job. She is so focused on studying and passing, she has lost sight of the reality of the job.
Maybe I came across differently than what I was.
Okay, and that's, I think, more what I'm just trying to bring out here is just to make you aware of the observations of the others.
Suzette is shocked to discover that she has received negative evaluations from her classmates as well as her instructors.
She's kind of losing sight of the other part of this, which is to demonstrate great customer service skills, great skills, interactions with her fellow employees, and again, just trying to get her to relax. That's, but she's got to do that herself. Comments such as, sorry you had such a bad A flight attendant. This tells me that someone who is under a stressful situation doesn't know how to relax, and that's what the flight attendants are saying.
I thought I was doing okay. I don't.
Well, I'm not real big on the emotions part. I have a tough time with crying.
I guess I don't understand.
I want to try to get you to relax.
Well, I guess I don't understand that.
Again, my concern is what can we do to help? Suzette mentioned several times that she didn't understand how people could have a negative perception. And that's the problems with perceptions is oftentimes we just don't realize how we come across.
I guess I don't understand what everybody wants then. I thought I was doing it all right.
It can be difficult for the students to receive criticism. Again, as I told Suzette, this program is stressful by design. We need to see who can cut it.
Trying to learn everything that we were learning every day really stressed me out because I had a feeling that I wasn't as sharp as I should be.
Meanwhile, the instructors invite students to fill out course evaluations with constructive criticism.
If you have any comments, suggestions, we highly suggest that you please do fill out an eval for us.
Marco and Melissa has asked the class to fill out evaluations when they see fit.
So fill those out. Feedback is important. So on the eval, if you're filling it out on me in this class, describe rather than criticize.
I think the instructors are great at their job.
If you don't like the class, tell me what I can improve on it. You don't want to just say something that blatantly hurts somebody's feelings.
Having just been informed by Frank of her negative review, Suzette joins the class in filling out evaluations. As the evaluations are turned in, Frank discovers he has received some negative reviews of his own. Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
It makes me feel sick to my stomach that someone would write something like this.
You know why you do this? You guys take this so personally because you give everything. We have to talk tonight.
As the instructors work to guide their trainees through week 5 of Flight Attendant School, they are shocked to discover 2 anonymous student evaluations. Filled with negative criticism, the evaluations attack the school's termination policy, specifically the recent firing of student Laura, while Heather was given a surprise reprieve.
I heard that people thought that I did receive special treatment. When I heard that people were talking that they had such a problem, I wish they would have just came and talked to me about it, and I would have gone over exactly what did take place.
I think there were definitely a few students that felt like the instructors weren't being fair because she got fired.
Okay. When we do have to let students go, yes, it is very normal for other students to come up and say, gosh, I'm upset or I'm angry, or why'd you have to do that?
We found an anonymous letter in the evaluation form folder. It seems that rules applied to some and not to others, as management was not consistent in upholding these rules. This past week, I feel management has lost the respect it started with.
And the person who wrote the evaluation then continued to go on about Heather and the test that she took and how it was a retake, and she felt that Heather maybe shouldn't be here. But I don't think they understand the whole side of the story.
The instructors have received negative evaluations about the program before, but today's 2 anonymous letters call into question the integrity of the instructors themselves.
Personally attacking the program.
No, it's personally attacking us. When you start saying what you've done and questioning my integrity, then I get upset.
Sherry's pretty tough, and so for her to be as upset as she was over this, it really shows that this really, really bothered her.
I cannot change their perception of what kind of job we do. It's personal. It's not about...
It is personal.
The instructors give their heart and soul to this job, to this company, and the students don't know that.
And we all know that we've stayed consistent with what we've done in the past, but the students don't know that.
And it shows how much of a coward this person is, because when we talked about it, you know, when Tim came in and said the class is upset about Heather still being here, you specifically addressed that fact to the class where if you have a problem, come talk to us. It's not like we closed the door on him. It makes me feel sick to my stomach that someone would write something like this instead of coming to talk to us.
You know that I would never just walk out of here.
I know.
But I could just go home.
Chris tends to wear his emotions on his sleeve a little bit more, just kind of shuts down and looks into himself. And this program means so much to Chris.
It's okay, buddy.
It just sucks. I know. It was like the knife through the heart for them, because this is their signature. This is their source of pride.
Meanwhile, the students try to stay focused and study for their skills testing, but the instructor's mysterious behavior is only making them more nervous.
We all thought Marco seemed angry, but we saw Sherry and Melissa and they were both crying. So we don't know. Nobody knows what's going on.
The stress level shot up to 100 from 0 in just a few minutes. It was kind of tough.
Everybody's trying to stay focused, trying to study, but nobody can concentrate right now. Everybody's freaking out on what's going on.
When news of the anonymous evaluation reaches Pam, the senior director of in-flight training, she rallies her troops and tries to raise their diminished spirits.
You know why you do this? You guys take this so personally because you give everything, your heart and soul into this.
Yes.
And that's it. That's why you're feeling this. So I want you to stop this right now. You have nothing, all right? That you guys are the leaders here. This is one person, and we're going to find out what this means. That's what we want to know.
Pam is the cheerleader, and when Pam sees that her team is upset and sad, that really bothers her. So Pam came in, and I think she tried to downplay the evaluation a little bit and raise our spirits.
All right. You have nothing to feel bad about at all.
Seeing how upset everyone at Flight Attendant School has become, Pam organizes an emergency town meeting between the instructors and the students to discuss the anonymous letters.
We have to talk tonight, and we're going to be here as long as that takes.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
Something is going on.
For the first time today, I just wanted to leave. And to be honest, I might.
At Flight Attendant School, students and instructors alike are upset over the implications of 2 anonymous evaluations. Pam, the senior director of in-flight training at Frontier, decides the best way to resolve this matter is to hold a town meeting.
After a while of not knowing what was going on, the instructors called the entire class in for a kind of town meeting. I had no idea what the town meeting was about.
Tonight is let's talk about what's going on in here and in here with all of you, because something is going on. It was what we at Frontier Airlines call an unplugged, which is basically a group meeting to air our feelings, air any issues, concerns, talk about where everybody's at, because the class today felt disjointed and we needed to bring them together because we're not done yet. There is no one sole flight attendant on board that aircraft. You work as a team. This class works as a team. We've got a couple anonymous evaluations that have pretty much impacted not only the credibility or the integrity of this training program, but have implied that there has been some inconsistencies and we are not maybe treating everyone fairly.
The whole purpose of evaluations is constructive criticism, and it wasn't constructive criticism, and I guess they said a lot of things that were hurtful to the instructors.
We don't put a lot of credence into anonymous notes.
The instructors are definitely not there to be our friends. They're there to be our instructors, and they don't play favorites among us.
When I have 35 individuals in front of me, and these people are saying we're speaking on behalf of the class.
When Pam and Frank told us about the letters, it pissed me off that someone would put my name on something that I didn't write, and I didn't appreciate that very much.
There's something clearly that people were differing on.
You get tired, you get frustrated, you get wore out. But for the first time today, I just wanted to leave. And to be honest, I might.
I think all of us as instructors, we hold the bar up here very high for ourselves individually, as well as for the department. This company means a lot to me.
Sherry, I don't think you should go anywhere. I don't think any of you should go anywhere. I think you're all awesome. It was just really hard. I mean, people were crying and people were angry, and it was a hard thing to sit through.
Because of the comments made today. And my coworkers that I even consider staying. So I thank you for your kind comments. It does mean a lot to me, to all of us.
You also really care about making, you all do, that we're good personally. I respect that. I respect that we're not students, we're not numbers, we're people. And you, from day one, you've wanted us all to succeed. And I don't know how anyone could talk bad about you guys, because take away the instructor stuff. You're pretty great people.
On orientation night, Stacy kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
I don't want to leave training.
She has totally turned my opinion around, and I'm really impressed with the overall flight attendant I think she's gonna be. I want to say that I'm sorry I prejudged.
After seeing the courage displayed by her instructors, Suzette finds the confidence to open up to the class. Her negative reviews have inspired her to adopt a more positive attitude.
I needed to get things cleared, and I needed to get it off my chest.
I just wanted it to come to test. From that point on, I realized my focus was to get through this class. Therefore, There are many people who know. This morning, I was going to resign, and I was told by one of the instructors, no, I would make a good flight attendant, and I should stay, and therefore, there will be no more stress, and I am going to be one of the best flight attendants.
I think the students were very honest with us. I know that there were some that were holding back, and that's okay. And you know what? I trust the fact that they will come forward at their time, at the right place.
After an emotionally exhausting town meeting, the students move ahead with their skills testing.
You are seated in an exit row and may be required to open the exit in the event of an emergency.
What determines the number?
The jump seats.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. It looks like Suzette has a new self-confidence, and it looks like this confidence is going to take her through graduation.
You guys should be smiling a lot more. You're doing awesome.
Finding the confidence she once lacked, Suzette passes her skills test with flying colors.
I passed, I got them all right, I got 100%, so I'm really proud of myself. I'm really happy.
On the next episode of Flight Attendant School.
Now the flight attendants have to do their hands-on practical.
Looks like I'm going to Cancun. My stress level's been up so much for the past 5 weeks that even, being somewhere as beautiful as Cancun, still in the back of my head, it's okay, you're not done.
I think sometimes William gives looks like he's bored or just not into it during class.
You're gonna have to get rid of some of the things that you used to do because somebody's gonna say, well, that's not the way we do it here.
In a way, it's a slap in the face.
A flight attendant is trained to handle anything, from the routine
Check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
to the terrifying. And when that happens, training saves lives.
They call it boot camp, and we are, merciless.
I feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
Before any flight attendant takes off, she must be prepared for the possibilities no one likes to think about. Because keeping passengers comfortable is easy. Keeping them safe, that's the hard part. The preparation begins at Flight Attendant School. In this episode of Flight Attendant School.
So when you're up in front of people, your body language is what most people are looking at.
Sometimes William gives looks like he's bored or just not into it during class.
You're gonna have to get rid of some of the things that you used to do because somebody's gonna say, well, that's not the way we do it here.
In a way, it's a slap in the face.
After 6 weeks of training at Frontier's Flight Attendant School, the students are closer than ever to earning their wings. The next major challenge is the last training flight, known as the IOE.
Now the flight attendants have to do their hands-on practical, which is called IOE, or Initial Operating Experience. They go out on board on a live flight. They act as the working crew member with an onboard supervisor who is verifying that they know their procedures, they can handle their procedures, and it is a critical phase to make sure that they can perform these duties.
For Katrina, the IOE feels like the most stressful challenge yet.
I always feel like I can never study enough. So even if I'm confident with it, there's never enough studying for me.
While Katrina is nervous, William is confident he's going to ace his IOE.
Being a previous flight attendant before, it gives me the ability to know what the job is like. I feel that me going through this program, I'll be able to be fine.
I think sometimes William gives looks like he's bored or just not into it during class. And partly maybe it's because he has been a flight attendant before and, he definitely knows more than me about it.
As the trainees get closer to flying solo, Marco reminds them about the importance of smiling.
So when you're up in front of people, your body language is what most people are looking at. So when you're standing up to do your safety demonstration and you're not smiling, they're looking at you thinking, she's not happy to be here. She must be having a bad day. I wonder if they're smiling with the aircraft. She's not even smiling. Look at that. I'm looking her right in the eyes. She can't even look back at me. She's so stuck up. I'm never flying this airline again. Was that a cell phone? William! Where's William's getup? You know it well by now.
Sure, bring it on.
Oh, there it is. We'll have to add to it, because this is the second time it's gone off in class.
When a forbidden cell phone rings in class, the student must wear a special vest. This is William's second offense.
Oh, we have a cell phone going on. You get to wear a life vest, and you get to wear it all day. And
It's better than actually yelling at someone or biting someone's head off. I mean, I would rather them taking my phone, but this is embarrassing.
Okay, William, just throw it on, please. There you go. Good.
William definitely should have known better when his cell phone went off for the second time in class. One time, okay, but 2 times, that's kind of bad.
Be conscious of body language. Please watch yourselves when you're on the aircraft. You are on stage. People will be entrapped by you, by your beauty and your glory and the glamour of the job. They're staring you down. So make sure everything from your uniform to the smile on your face shows what you intended to.
After Marco's lecture, the instructors hand out IOE assignments. IOE destinations are random. Students do not get to pick where they fly.
Where you going?
Looks like I'm going to Cancun.
No, you're not. Yes, you don't lie. That's good, right? Well, maybe not.
Katrina is the only student flying to Mexico. This is more challenging than a domestic flight because of all the extra regulations and paperwork involved with international travel.
I'm gonna crap my pants.
While Katrina worries about her IOE, Frank is going to talk to William about his bad attitude in class. William's negativity isn't just confined to the classroom. The instructors have also received this feedback from Frontier employees.
Frank, do you have a second?
Yeah.
I know you're planning on talking to William today.
In one of William's training flights, the flight attendants that he was working with on the plane wrote up a review about his attitude and his perception and the way he was with the customers. They perceived him as not really having Frontier's core values and kind of putting the passengers first. And so Frank's going to talk to him about maybe his attitude.
Frank wants to meet with me, and I'm not sure what it's about, and we'll get to know. I kind of feel kind of nervous because, you know, I wonder if he's going to fire me or what.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
You're going to have to get rid of some of the things that you used to do because somebody's going to say, well, that's not the way we do it here.
In a way, it's a slap in the face.
Before the flight attendant students begin their IOE flights, instructor Frank has a meeting with William to discuss his attitude. This is not the first time William's negativity has been an issue. It's been seen before at home.
Where are you at right now? Where are you at?
It's gonna help more. I'm at C.
His unfriendly demeanor has also been felt on a training flight.
William could have smiled and added a little more whiteys on there, so I gave him a little heck about that.
You ready for IOE flying?
I hope.
William, we just wanted to share some feedback based on some earlier training flights. You know, here's a point-blank question. Do you tend to look at the world as the glass is half empty or half full?
I mean, it all depends.
Okay. We received essentially an evaluation from your training flights and wanted to make sure you were aware of the perception of the person who wrote us an email. Specifically, I think their concerns were along the lines of you may not go the extra mile when this is something that typically our flight attendants will do.
And they just want everybody to come on board with that personality and that love for Frontier and feel the same way that they do.
In a way, it's a slap in the face. That's how I feel, because they don't think I appreciate Frontier, they don't think I want to be here, which I do.
You're going to have to get rid of some of the things that you used to do because somebody's going to say, well, that's not the way we do it here. As Miss said, that's not the Frontier way.
During the meeting with Melissa and Frank, I was frustrated and mad that the flight attendants didn't come to me personally and tell me how they felt I didn't meet their expectations. They just wrote a letter behind my back and didn't come to me forward, which I found cowardly.
We're going to document this conversation with William, so that, I mean, if this happens again, we have to terminate them from the program.
Today, some students will begin their IOEs, or Initial Operating Experiences. The IOEs are considered the last major hurdle before graduation.
It is a requirement of every flight attendant to successfully pass his or her IOE.
Because Katrina's IOE takes her to Mexico with a layover, Sarah, Heather, and Annie decide to travel on Katrina's IOE and then spend the weekend with her in Cancun.
It'll be good to have a familiar face, but then you guys will make me nervous too.
The next morning, Katrina arrives at Denver International Airport for her first actual flight as a Frontier flight attendant. International travel is especially stressful for the trainees because of the extra regulations and paperwork involved.
I am very nervous right now. This is like your final exam, you know, final show before you go out and you're on your own. So I got to do well and get all those good check marks so that I can graduate. Thank you.
Katrina's onboard supervisor, Carrie, will be watching her every move.
What are some things as the B flight attendant that you need to do to prepare the galley for the flight? We try and get everything prepared ahead of time, so that once we're in flight, you can just start the service immediately. So why don't you go ahead and bust one of those open, and then we'll just get started. Okay.
As Katrina sets up the galley, her friends board the flight and get settled.
Today I'm going to have you do your announcement. Okay, so we are boarding out there.
Folks from the flight tech ladder, welcome aboard today.
Guess what William talk first?
Flight 42, service now.
Guess who has priority?
Cancun, Mexico. Our flight attendants will be giving you a very important safety demo. Please pay close attention.
Your turn. You're good to go. Okay, you're on. Showtime.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have boarded Frontier Airlines Flight 42 to Cancun.
I really want to help Katrina with her IOE, but it's against the rules, and I have to let her do this one on her own.
In the event of a water evacuation, your flotation device is a life vest, which is sealed in a plastic bag located in a pocket underneath your seat. We're glad you've chosen to fly with us today. Welcome aboard.
There you go.
Good.
While Katrina was reading the announcement, water leaked out from the beverage cart, which was not properly stowed. The flood nearly destroyed Katrina's vital paperwork.
Katrina, look at your paperwork. Isn't that nice? Does that mean you passed? Flowing back there?
I was so enthralled in my safety demonstration, I didn't even notice the waterfall.
All right, hopefully that'll dry out.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
That's backward.
Oh, okay, how do I do this?
The flight attendant students are performing their IOEs, or Initial Operating Experiences. After being warned by instructors Frank and Melissa about his negative attitude, William must perform his IOE flawlessly.
Waking up early for my IOE was horrible. I hate mornings.
If I have a bad IOE after my bad training flight, that'll give Frank and Melissa pause for me being a flight attendant here at Frontier.
The onboard supervisor, Dawn, notices William is agitated.
That's backward.
Oh, okay, how do I do this? I forget. Oh, this is a tight space. This bin is clean, isn't it, or is it not? Where's the scoop thing? Is this all the light we get?
When it comes time to make the announcement, William can't find his cue card.
I just lost my paper. What do you know? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Frontier Airlines Flight 36 to Fort Lauderdale.
William was nervous when he first got on the flight. He had to make the announcement, and the biggest thing that I noticed was his voice was shaking.
Watch me break it.
Once in the air, William starts to regain confidence. He's done this all before.
Would you like anything to drink? Sure. There you go, man.
William was very relaxed, comfortable. He knew what he was doing. His strengths were he was friendly with the people and very confident.
We usually leave that for the junior crew member.
Hey, trainer said that's crap. I know.
William's IOE was a success.
I'm ready to go home.
He is one step closer to earning his wings.
Good job. Yes. Good job. You did great.
I'm excited because this 6 weeks was hard on me. I shine more on a plane than rather, you know, in the classroom and things like that. I love working and I love this job, and it showed today.
He is going to pass. He did an excellent job. He knows what he's doing. William is a flight attendant now for Frontier.
With the lecture from Frank fresh on his mind, William proves he has what it takes to be a Frontier flight attendant.
That really affected me, knowing that I need to lower my confidence level just a bit and not be so cocky.
Meanwhile, Katrina's IOE is in full swing. All flight attendants must adhere to a strict dress code. Carrie has discovered a problem with Katrina's uniform.
Shoes with straps are not permitted, okay? So because your shoe has a strap, it's not okay.
I misunderstood during orientation about our shoes. I have a strap on my shoe with a buckle, and you can have a buckle, but it can't be a strap. So Carrie told me definitely before I get out there on mine, make sure I get another pair of shoes.
Ladies and gentlemen, Frontier Airlines welcomes you to Cancun, Mexico.
There you go.
How do you feel?
Good. Coming back, I'll be a wreck with being the A.
When Katrina returns to Denver, she will have extra responsibilities as the A flight attendant. She still needs to fly home successfully in order to pass her IOE. Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
Katrina, why are you so nervous about being A position? I'm always nervous. My stress level's been up so much for the past, 5 weeks that even, being somewhere as beautiful as Cancun, still in the back of my head, it's okay, you're not done.
Katrina is wrapping up her overnight stay in Mexico. Classmates Annie, Heather, and Sarah have used their flight benefits to join her.
Even though we're here in Cancun, it's still my IOE, so I still need to be focused on what I need to do to graduate. So that's why I'm taking, some of my downtime to go over those last couple of details, make this stuff stick in my head.
There are 3 positions on the return flight to Denver: A, B, and C. For Katrina, the A position is the most intimidating.
Katrina is going to switch positions on the plane going back. She's going to actually work the A flight tonight in the front of the aircraft.
So, Katrina, why are you so nervous about being the A position? Because the A position has a lot more responsibility as far as talking to the captain, and then on an international flight, the A has a lot more paperwork to do. I'm always nervous. But that's the main reasons. My stress level's been up so much for the past, 5 weeks that even, being somewhere as beautiful as Cancun, still in the back of my head, it's okay, you're not done. Don't forget, you're not done. So I still have a certain level of stress.
We helped Katrina study on the beach a little bit, just kind of reminding her of what the duties of flight attendant A are. She definitely knew everything, so it was just kind of asking her the questions and just showing her that she really does know.
After an overnight layover in Cancun, Katrina is ready to complete her IOE.
I think Katrina knows a lot more than she thinks she knows. For the most part, she just needs that confirmation. Like, do I know it? Yes, you know it.
Hi, how are you?
Buenas noches.
No problem.
Once again, Carrie will be observing Katrina. Her first task is the safety demonstration.
To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat middle end into the buckle. To tighten, pull on that loose strap. To remove the life vest from the back, pull the tab to one side. To use the vest, flip it over your head like the girls have done.
Katrina did not smile during her safety demo. I do think that she had a lot on her mind.
Pull down on a mask until the plastic tubing is fully extended to start the flow of oxygen.
During her demo, she, for some reason, wasn't smiling, looked really uptight.
With the safety demonstration completed, Katrina moves on to another first, food service.
My duties today have been a lot different than my duties from the first half. I talked to the captain a lot more, responsible for some more paperwork and food service, which I've never done, even on my training flights.
I'm all out of her.
So far, Katrina's done the announcements she needs to make, and she's handed out the forms and done her services. She's done a really good job.
After serving snacks to passengers, it's time to check in with Carrie one last time.
So first of all, how are you feeling?
It's been not as confident as with the first one. I think that's just
Carrie is concerned about Katrina's lack of confidence. As the plane lands, Katrina's final duty is to make an arrival announcement. For unknown reasons, she doesn't do it.
After we landed, it was Katrina's responsibility to do the announcement. And for some reason, she kept waiting and kept waiting and kept waiting. I thought maybe she forgot. So I'm going to talk to Katrina about why she was waiting to do the announcement. Okay, let's finish talking up about the last part of your IOE. After we landed, and it was your turn to do the arrival PA, what happened there?
I was thinking about disarming the door and not making the announcement.
I thought you were waiting on the captain to turn off the emergency exit signs. But no, you were thinking about the doors.
Yeah, I was waiting for him to turn off the exit signs.
Okay, so you don't have to do that.
With the matter resolved, it's time for Katrina to pass or fail.
Today she wasn't as confident as she was on the first leg, but overall she did really well, so I'm going to let her know that. What if crew scheduling called you tomorrow and they gave you a trip? How do you think you'd feel on the plane?
I definitely feel good as the C and the B. As the A, I think I'd be a little shaky, but I wouldn't hesitate doing it.
Okay.
Like, it wouldn't be something that I'd be trying to trade with somebody.
Right. Okay. Well, good. Well, congratulations. You're all set. Can I give you a hug?
Yes. I'm really excited that I got this opportunity to go on my IOE to Cancun. That doesn't happen a whole lot. At first, it was a little intimidating, and I thought, I don't want to do this, but I'm glad that I did.
Good job. Thank you. You did great. Thank you. Good job. Thank you. All right. Let's go. Let's go home.
Yes. Passed my IOE, made me feel good, so I'm on a kind of a natural high right now.
On the next episode of Flight Attendant School.
I mean, I think I know what I'm doing. It's really not rocket science.
What's an APU? Okay, what was that? Is there something that you should do before you do that?
I got a phone call this morning about 8:15 stating that Heather had essentially no-showed for her IOE. I hate this. I hate this in the worst way.
I think I'm gonna get fired.
Do you understand what the process is now?
In the back of my head, I'm thinking, I didn't do anything wrong here. I did everything that they told me.
Okay.